track review.
Hello, my needle drops. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's track reviews, where we talk about the latest in rock, pop, electronic, and experimental music and whether or not it's good. Thank you very much. Now, there's a couple things that I want to get out of the way. Number one, the mod box on the YouTube channel. I changed the question in it simply to, what is some of the music of this year that you're digging? Not what should Anthony review next, because you know what makes it to number one in the mod box is kind of a little one-sided, and I've kind of discovered that people tend to just thumb down things that they're not even familiar with, not even necessarily that they don't like. And this is mostly because you have to thumb things up or down in order to scroll through the mod box and look at things, which is a little disruptive and a little time-consuming, which is why people are just kind of thumbing up and thumbing down random things. So, because it's not all that good of a gauge of what is hot or what is not, just rather kind of what's popular, I'd rather not just kind of bend to every whim that the mod box says. Besides, hip-hop and metal never make it to number one in the mod box, and you know what? Hip-hop and metal, if you're going to be like that, they're kind of like your veggies, and you really need to eat your freaking veggies. Okay, I know I just didn't edit there, but in the spirit of the Rock It Out blog, what I would like to do with track reviews, maybe from now on, y'all tell me in the comment box, is possibly do a more straightforward, less edited review of just simply songs, just track reviews, more of a raw reaction as opposed to a formal thing that I write out beforehand, that I plan out, that I do my bullet points, like I do with album reviews. Kind of just let the chips fall where they may, just kind of give my, whatever's on the top of my head after I listen to the track. I think it's a much more visceral approach, and it's an approach that I used to do back in the old days. A lot of you older subscribers, my older needle drops, I can't believe I have older needle drops at this point, but there are over 7,000 of you. The older needle drops may remember back old school days, yada yada yada. Alright, this track that we're going to listen to comes from Picture, the new Twilight Sad EP, The Wrong Car. Let me grab this. These guys are a Scottish indie rock outfit with a lot of shoegaze, I want to say sensibilities, some shoegaze subtleties, some shoegaze elements. They've come out with, I want to say, a couple albums so far, and this new EP has a Mogwai remix on it, it has an Errors remix on it. Everything's a remix these days, nothing's a cover. But anyway, this track that we're going to listen to is the title track off The Wrong Car. Let's give a listen to this. There's a link in the D box where you can hear it too. Let's see what's up with it. Man, guys. I just don't get this band. I just don't get, not that I don't get what they're doing, but what I don't get is just how they've amassed the popularity and the credibility that they have. They're not an awful group, most certainly, and I certainly can't understand how the UK, Ireland, that area, they're very passionate about their bands. They're passionate about Foals. You know, they have a reason to be passionate. Passionate about Gorillaz. They're passionate about that Villagers LP. They're passionate about Wild Beasts. I mean, hell, I bought this first Undertones album the other day on the internet. You know, great bands coming out of that area. But this band, I'm just struggling and struggling because I see them blogged here, reviewed well there, loved here. Saw them live with the band Mono this year. I'm just struggling for a reason to freak out like everyone else is and say, yeah, this is good, this is right, this is amazing. This track, gonna say the good things, this track was about 7 minutes long, and what I liked about that is the band did justify that length. I was surprised. They did a lot of building, a lot of swells, a lot of these walls of sound, and not only that, but they have a lot of dynamics to their name too. It's not just loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft. There's a gradual build from one to the other. But what really kind of failed me on this song was a number of things, from the melody to the production to the guitar distortion to the sounds of the instruments, whether it's the piano in the beginning or any number of sounds that follow after it. To me, it just isn't awful, isn't offensive, but just kind of forgettable. I'm sure, Twilight Sad, I'm sure they're a nice band, I'm sure they're nice guys, but yeah, this just isn't doing anything for me. I just feel like, what was that song again? What happened in that song? It just leaves my head as soon as I hear it or as soon as I see them. It just doesn't strike me as even sounding like anything. It's not like I can kind of attribute this sound or this problem that I'm having to, oh yeah, they're a rip-off of that band, or oh yeah, they're a rip-off of this band. They don't even sound close enough to anything for me to kind of even hook them to that. I mean, yeah, it does kind of sound like an indie rock sound, it does kind of sound like a shoegaze sound, but it's a very general sound, a very vanilla sound. It's very much like they are working with simply the blueprint of this idea, but are making little to no alterations to it. It's just not doing much for me. What do you want me to say? Geez, I'm kind of feeling like a light 4 on this, which is kind of a score that I would give a track if it is something that I'm particularly not digging, but I can see why other people are liking it. But that's where my ears are. But let me know where your guys' ears are. Are you feeling this thing? Are you not feeling this thing? And why? Also, I want to say quickly, album of the week, Mount Erie's Lost Wisdom. Right here, Phil Elverum came out with a fantastic album under Mount Erie this past year. Wind's Poem. I'm kind of waiting with bated breath to kind of see what this guy does this year. Very interested in seeing where Mount Erie is going. Alright, this has been the Needle Drop track reviews. The Twilight Sad. The Wrong Car. I almost forgot the name of the track already. Forever.